Hi everyone, Petrik here. So for today's video, I'll be talking about all the books that I want to read in the month of July. And yeah, we are already at the end of the month of June. And I think many of you know that I still haven't found any new 5-star fantasy book within this year. Yes, not counting books that I reread, I haven't found any new 5-star fantasy books. Well, I did find one, but that's for a sci-fi book, and that's for Hyperion by Dan Simmons. That's it. That's the only new 5-star reading that I got this year, and I think it is time to unleash the big guns, okay? And before I start talking about that, I want to mention one thing here. Just a heads up, within the next few weeks, there might be changes in my background videos because I finally built my own office. I'm in the middle of building my own office, and with that in mind, I'm also building my custom bookshelves. Well, I try to anyway, which brings me to today's sponsor, Craftsy. Craftsy is an online community and resource where millions of crafters, creative makers, and DIY enthusiasts find creative inspirations, advance their skills, and learn new ones along the way. Craftsy also offers over 2,000 inspiring classes for makers of all skill levels, with step-by-step instruction in more than 20 categories like knitting, cooking, sewing, painting, and many more. As for me, I'm currently in the middle of learning about how to build my own bookshelf, so I took a custom built-in shelves class by veteran woodworker Kyle Kwiatkowski. This was useful to me as he taught a step-by-step DIY process on how to build your own custom shelves from planning, designing, determining materials, assembling the pieces, and the installation. There will be more things as of this I'll learn in the future. Thankfully, Craftsy allows us to learn anywhere and watch classes that are broken down into short and easy to follow step-by-step lessons and instructions at our own time and preference. The first 1,000 of you who click the link in the video description or use the QR code on the screen will receive a full year of premium membership to Craftsy for only $1.49, valid for new members only. Thank you so much to Craftsy for sponsoring today's video. And now let's talk about all the big books that I want to read in the month of July. And yeah, before we are nearing the end of the year, before we reach the end of the year, I must make sure that I actually got a lot of 5-star fantasy books or sci-fi books. That's important for me. Books and also video games, books, manga, and video games, they kept me sane, okay, in this reality. They always do, and I want to find those amazing books again. So this July, I will be reading The Strength of the Few by James Islington. And yeah, I know, I'm reading this like 5 months early now. 4 or 5 months early. But you know what? Several people have read and reviewed The Strength of the Few. I'm not the first one now, and I think that's okay. I remember getting a lot of hate comments, a lot of hate and angry comments back when I first read and reviewed The Devils by Joe Abercrombie. And now I decided to wait 2 months, I think, after I got The Strength of the Few before diving into this one. And now I don't think I can wait anymore. I'm in the middle of doing the second read of The Will of the Many right now. And then after that, I'll be jumping straight into The Strength of the Few. It seems like based on the glimpses that I saw in Bookstagram and also Book Talk, I think it seems like people love this one even more than The Will of the Many, and that's so mind-blowing to me because I already love The Will of the Many incredibly much, and I cannot wait to I cannot wait to start reading The Strength of the Few. I think James Islington is one of the best authors right now, one of the best fantasy authors ever since I read the Lycanius trilogy, and I'm truly happy that The Will of the Many and the Hierarchy series is pushing him to this new level of fame and success, which I think he absolutely deserves. I think he is really great at plotting, and also I always love his characterizations and world building. And yeah, I cannot wait to read The Strength of the Few, and I think this cover art by Jamie Jones looks incredible. And then after that, that's not the only most anticipated book that I'm going to read in the month of July. I'm going to be reading The Shadows Upon Time. Yes, the 7th and the final book in the Sun Eater series. It is time to finish this adventure. It is time to finish this epic story once and for all. And yeah, I already got the advanced reading copy of Shadows Upon Time, and I think many of you know now that I'm a huge fan of the Sun Eater series by Christopher Ruocchio. I consider this, together with the Red Rising Saga, to be the best sci-fi series of all time. These two series, they tied at the #1 spot for me as the best sci-fi series, and I finally will be reading the conclusion to the Sun Eater series, and it's so surreal to me. I know some of you might be in this adventure much longer than me. I think Empire of Silence actually came out, I think, in 2018. So I started this one, I think, about 2 years ago. So yeah, it's not too long for me, but at the same time, it just feels surreal. So many things, so many events, so many pivotal events have happened to Hadrian throughout his journey in the Sun Eater, and I cannot wait to reach the conclusion, the one that has been written since the beginning of Empire of Silence. It is time to read the full details of the Chronicle of Hadrian Marlowe, and yeah, I'm very excited, as you can probably tell. And then after that, I'm going to be reading another one of my most anticipated reading, and I already have this book. This is for A Drop of Corruption by Robert Jackson Bennett. This is the sequel to The Tainted Cup, the first book in the Shadow of the Leviathan series, a murder mystery in an epic fantasy setting. I think that's the best way to call The Tainted Cup. And A Drop of Corruption is the sequel to it. And I believe this entire series, all of them will contain this standalone tale of Anna and Dean, the two main duo, kind of like Sherlock Holmes and also Watson. Yeah, kind of like the two of them in this world. And I cannot wait to be reading this one. I think it is time to be diving into A Drop of Corruption, especially because so many people also said that this one somehow even tops The Tainted Cup. And I always considered Robert Jackson Bennett just like James Islington before his fame in the Hierarchy series. Well, the Divine Cities trilogy, the Founders trilogy, all of them are books that I absolutely love. And I still think that the Divine Cities trilogy by Robert Jackson Bennett is one of the most underrated and under the radar epic fantasy series out there. I highly recommend you to pick that one up as well. And yeah, this one, I think The Tainted Cup and A Drop of Corruption is really, well, it seems like this is the biggest and the most famous series of Robert Jackson Bennett. It will be anyway, soon, really soon. I have a feeling that it will be that way. But as I always say, I think Robert Jackson Bennett is one of those authors that can actually combine and melt multiple subgenre into one book and actually done that and actually do that really seamlessly. And yeah, I'm excited to be reading this one. So those are 3 or 4 books now, because I'm in the middle of doing a second read of The Will of the Many. Now, if I have time, if I still have some time in the month of July, I think I'll be diving into either one of these two. And the first one is Into the Narrowdark by Ted Williams. Now, I make no promises here. Every time I want to start reading Into the Narrowdark, somehow something more important just, well, shot to the top of my TBR pile. Or maybe my reading would just decide to read something else. But I do really want to finish reading The Last King of Boston Art. It is a great series, a fantastic sequel to Memory, Sorrow, and Thorn trilogy by Ted Williams. And also, people said that Into the Narrowdark and also the final book, The Navigator's Children, are the best books in The Last King of Boston Art and also the entire Boston Art saga. So maybe I will be reading that one. If not, then maybe I will be diving into It Is Time, Dungeon Crawler Car by Matt Dinniman. Yeah, I think it is time for me to be diving into this one. It has been a while. People have been hyping this for, I don't know, more than a year or two now. And I think I don't think I can resist this anymore. I wanted to wait until the Kickstarter hardcover that I purchased actually arrived, but there is no sign that it's going to arrive really soon. It's almost a year late now. And you know what? I might as well dive into Dungeon Crawler Car and do a second read using that hardcover instead one day. So yeah, if there is time, I'll be reading Dungeon Crawler Car by Matt Dinniman, the super popular and highly praised lit RPG series within the month of July. If not, this will be going into the month of August. But either way, I'll be reading Dungeon Crawler Car within this year for sure. So yeah, those are pretty much all the books that I plan to read in the month of July. I know these are big hitters and I must do it, okay? I still haven't found any new 5-star fantasy books this year, and it's making me sad. Because as I said, books really keep me sane and I want to find more amazing books to read and recommend to my subscribers, to my viewers, to all of you. And I hope I can read and review all of this. And I plan to do more book reviews on my YouTube channel again as well. It has been a while since I post a Booktube review. And yeah, I think those are all the books that I plan to read in the month of July. And for manga, I think I will just finish Black Clover, and then after that I will dive into One Piece, the Egghead or the Eggman Island. And it has been a while since I read One Piece, and I keep repeating this in my monthly TBR pile as well. But Black Clover is taking me some time to actually finish, even though I'm near the end now. I think I have about 10 volumes before I reach the end of Black Clover. And of course, I will be reading the final chapter of Vinland Saga by Makoto Yukimura. It will be a sad and bittersweet day to be reading the final chapter of Vinland Saga, but at the same time, I'm happy Makoto Yukimura can choose the right time and the right moment to end the Vinland Saga series. It has been 2 decades after all. So yeah, those are pretty much all the books that I want to read in the month of July. Do let me know what you think about all the books that I plan to read, and of course let me know what books you plan to read next month. As always, thank you so much for watching, and thank you for your support. Bye bye. Lastly, I want to say thank you so much once again to all my patrons who keep on supporting me.